Hey guys, in my initial This I Believe paper, I talked about social justice to me is when people of all different backgrounds come together and they support someone who's being harassed for something that they don't have control over, like their race or their sexuality. Basically, people from totally different backgrounds, like Christians, Muslims, gays, straight people, blacks, whites, men, women, they realize that they're all just people. That they're just people. That really no different. They're just all people, and that they all live on the earth. And I also mentioned that I believe there are shortcomings to social justice, like the double standards that run amok in society, as well as suppression of freedom of speech. Like, why is it that when a man hits a woman, he's a monster, but when a woman hits a man, it's either not taken seriously or it's celebrated? And why is the initial reaction to so many people like, "Oh damn, well, he must have done something that really pissed her off. Like, he must have really deserved it." Like, it's still assault. Who cares? There was no liable reason for assault. And suppression of freedom of speech so as to not offend people, like, that's why comedians are forsaking performing on college campuses, because I mean it just takes away the very liberation that comedy brings. I mean, everyone is so freaking PC nowadays. It's hard to say anything without it being considered offensive to somebody. Even if there was absolutely nothing offensive about what you said, just everyone is just so offended so easily nowadays. Well, anyway, while my thoughts on those matters have not changed, my overall perspective on what social justice is to me has certainly expanded, and in no small part due to the scholarly events and the seminar class itself. When Brian Stevenson came to SEU earlier this year, he made a really good speech. I mean, it was mainly just him saying the exact same stuff he wrote about in his book Just Mercy, but it was still good to hear from him personally. And reading the book, I have to say, it certainly made me much more aware of just how much racism has ingratiated itself into the justice system and corrupted it. And I honestly got sick a few times when I was reading the book. I mean, it was just so shocking. It was not sugar-coated at all. It was just cold, hard, unsettling, disturbing facts. And in the LOC seminar, there was this one day when we were watching a video about social justice in Islam, and how if someone who claims to be Muslim commits an act of terrorism and kills scores of people, the response should not be to attack any random innocent Muslim you may come across, because that just makes you no different from those who use a religion in order to commit acts of evil. And these kind of things, social justice, they all flow into the aesthetic representation I'm in. And it includes such things like birth control, because the characters get pregnant after a one-night stand, as well as domestic violence, police brutality, an unjust justice system, and just the kinds of things people will go to just to be able to provide for their families. Like, things people would not normally do, but if they're so desperate, they'll be willing to do anything just to be able to feed their families and just put food on the table. Okay, well, thank you for listening.